Hello, Cleveland, and everyone from everywhere else. Welcome to your 10-minute TA for the day. It's Monday, May 5th, 2025. Hope everyone's happy to be alive. I know I am. 'Tis a good day. Bitcoin just dropped under 94K again. But before we dive into that, please give me a like. And as a thank you, I give you the next chapter of the Adventures of Rollo the Raccoon. Chapter 5, The Forest of Light. Together, Rollo and the dragon wandered through a mushroom forest. Giant glowing fungi lit their path, and friendly creatures peeked out, giggling and waving. The raccoon now carried a walking stick, his traveler's mark. All right, let's dive into these charts. So, let's turn down the music a bit. Turn it down a little bit there. There we go. All right, and let's start here on the 90 as we often do. So, we'll notice that here on the 90-minute chart from last night when we made the video, it was right around here. We were kind of towards the bottom of this bottom, yeah. Actually, I believe we were under 94 when I made the video, but it don't matter. No, actually, I think we were right on 94 when I made that video. Anyway, I was saying that we were overbought on both the Stokes and the RSI, which told us that we were going to probably see a little bit of a bounce. We did see a little bit of a bounce, but not a strong enough bounce to really do what we needed to do. It got stopped. Found resistance from the 200 moving average here on the 90-minute chart. And moved itself down further. So now what we're seeing is a bullish divergence. What? Yeah, dude. It's a bullish divergence. Let's make it green. So you'll see a lower low there, while here on the RSI, we are seeing a higher low. I'll make it bigger. There you go. Higher. Lower. Now, this can change. If the RSI here continues this path down, then it's going to end up, back down here. And if it does that, well, then it'll invalidate that bullish divergence and our hopes will be dashed away. But as of right now, there is a bullish div going on. Let's look at the Stokes. So the stochastics here on the 90-minute, they are down in bearish territory, pointing to the downside as if to say we're heading lower today, or at least for the next several hours, 6 to 12 hours. Lower, unless it finds a bottom. Let's take a quick peek at the 22 just to see if we're seeing some more bullishness there. Now, our size stuck down here in bearish territory. It tried to break into bullish territory, but it failed. Stokes having trouble breaking over there too. They are pointing to the upside, so maybe there will be a push up. Our Bollinger Bands are pretty tight though, so even if there is, it might not get over that last high that we just saw of 94.9-ish. But yeah, let's take a look. Oop, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's take a look at the 5-minute chart. It's iffy. See the RSI? See how it's like stuck below the 50? Like keeps trying to break over, but then it fails, and then it tries, and then it fails. It's going to walk away. It's probably going to go down. Probably going to see some downside. We're under the 200 there. We're under the 200 here on the 1 minute. 1 minute tried. It tried right here to get bullish, but it failed. All right, back to the 22 real quick. So here on the 22, yeah, it's not... it's like that bullish div is there, but other than that bullish div on the 90-minute chart, there's really not much going on here. Could be a double bottom. If it was a double bottom, it'll bring us back up to around here, around 95.8, back up to the 200 on the 22. So possibly moving up to the 200 on the 22 today. Should be good if the 22 can continue up. However, that's only if the 5 can bust up to the upside. We'll see what happens. Lower time scales, they're kind of noisy. They move around a lot, so it's hard to really get a gauge on it unless you see something really like strong, like, oh, hey, look, there's a bullish div here as well. So here we see upside on the lows. Here we see downside on the lows. That's also a bullish div here on the 5-minute chart. We have a bearish div. Lower highs. No, there's no bearish div, not really. I mean, a little bit because they're flat highs here on the RSI while the price action's putting in lower highs. So there's technically like a small div there. If the RSI was putting in higher highs from here for the most part, and it did actually. So yeah, there is a bearish div there too. So we're not gonna count this bull div then. Because if there's a bear div and a bull div, they cancel each other out. So then what are we looking at? We're looking at under the 200. Stokes pointing to the downside. Bearish territory. Looks like it's going down. The 5-minute. That would probably take the 22-minute lower. We're under the 200. We're in bearish territory. In bearish territory here. It's pointing to the upside, but that doesn't mean much. It means that it could be this next oscillation has a chance to push through. But with the 5-minute pointing to the downside like it is, I'm going to guess that the 22 is going to turn around, and then the 90 may as well. And that might invalidate our bullish divergence here on the 90. So watch for that bullish div to get invalidated and for us to sink a little bit lower. We're under the 200 here. We kind of see a bear flag going on here as well. Make you red. Red. There's our bear flag, and if we took the measured move of that bear flag, we'd be down at around 91,835, which is pretty close to that head and shoulders that we drew on the 6-hour chart yesterday. And where was that head and shoulders playing down to? 90,776. So yeah, I think we're heading to 90. I mean, despite me not wanting to see Bitcoin do that, we're heading to 90. And that's the 382 retracement here for this bull flag. And if we see a bounce back from there and the bull flag take off, well then our measured move is 100.8 thousand. Yeah. All right. That's cool. I'm down with it. Let's but I will mention though that the lower we go, the more chances there are to invalidate this bull flag, and the lower that this measured move goes. So like we want to see that 90K hold. If we lose 90K, then we'll have to start talking about more bearishness. But we're still over the 200 on the 6-hour, but that's where the bearishness would go to. Down here to the 200 roughly, which is in the golden pocket of that fib retracement. We talked about that yesterday. Just go back to the 90 real quick. Go back to the 90 just real quick here. I wanted to see something. We can get rid of this bearish div that played out for sure. Yeah, here on the 90. Yeah, I think we're going down. I think we're going down to the to 90K. 94 isn't going to hold. It looks like 94K is not going to hold, although it still could. There's still like a small chance, but I'm going to say like 80% chance we're going down to 90K. Maybe 92, but maybe 92 will hold us support, but more likely we're going to 90K. Yeah. All right, let's take a quick peek at the daily just to see where we are in the pattern here. Yeah, there's our head and shoulders. It's from the 90, well, forming. But yeah, if we move down to 90, that's our 200 here on the daily chart, 200 day. Does that correlate? No. Yeah, so the 90 on the 200 day moving average.